Greetings to everyone. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. I'm a Nigerian journalist and writer from Nobi in Anambra State. I teach post-colonial African history at the School of Visual Arts in New York City. One incident that happened over 30 years ago in Onitsha has haunted me to this day. I was then a reporter for Classic Magazine in Lagos, and I came down to Onitsha to interview the chairman of Omata. It was my first job after my NYSC in Akwanga, Plateau State. As someone who spent my formative years as an engineering student at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa, in Ondo State, I was eager to tell the Igbo stories in the national media. So I proposed a story that brought me to Onitsha. While doing the story, I was in the vicinity of the main market Onitsha when the market closed. The unending stream of mainly young Igbo boys that came out of the market shocked me. Remember that I attended Futa, and during my days there, it was just a small university. But while at Futa, several projects, like my final year engineering project and an internship, took me to Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, the University of Ibadan, and the University of Nigeria Nsukka. I've been to the largest universities in Nigeria, and I've seen university students in big lecture halls and out on the streets demonstrating. But none of those images could compare to the multitude of young boys that I saw on that day when I witnessed Onitsha market close. It instantly occurred to me that no university in Nigeria had that number of young Igbo men and women. Don't even say UNN. I spent a semester there before I went to Futa. So that image stays with me till this day. Those boys that I saw at Onitsha main market were in their prime. I have not stopped wondering what kind of continuing education they received there. Is the education they receive good for the 21st century world? I have classmates who left primary school to go and trade. I have those who left secondary school. What kind of formal and informal education have they received since? I've not stopped wondering how the Onitsha main market has treated them 20 years and 30 years after. I've not stopped wondering how it will treat those joining today what is probably the largest university for Igbo youths. The same goes for Aba Market, Ogbete, Ladipo, Nnewi, Ojalaba Market, and so on. I got interested in this conversation again last year when I read a BBC news piece about Igbo boy and the impending paper on that subject that Professor Ndiisioji will publish in the prestigious Harvard Business Review. My reaction to the piece was what brought me to this conference. In my reaction, which you can read online, I agreed that the Igbo philosophy of Onyaga gave us the Igbo boy apprentice scheme. I propose that the same philosophy requires us, all of us, to look into the scheme and propose ways to modernize it to meet the needs of the 21st century changing world of business and commerce. We owe it to these, our brothers and sisters. Now, some of the questions that have stayed in my head for years are: 1. What percentage of our young men who took the trading path achieved a middle-class life for themselves 20 years to 30 years after? What fallback plans are available to those who didn't make it? Since our society is paying the price for abandoning them, what can we do to provide a safety net for them? Are there ways to prepare them for possible fallback plans while still in the market? For instance, can those with the talent and skill learn coding, stock trading, plumbing, or advance their education online one day a week or on weekends while still trading? Knowing that if we build it, they will come, how do we maximize the phenomenal gathering of young men and women already in places in these markets around Nigeria? These kinds of questions lead to an explosion of ideas in my head, ideas about business incubators that can compete and surpass anything seen anywhere in the world. An expansion and unification of Igbo boy and Ahia will integrate the best practices seen anywhere in the world for our people. In today's highly interconnected world, business practices are now high-tech. We cannot afford to let our people down by allowing them to operate in an environment and structure that does not meet the minimum requirements of the time that we live in. Like everything else about our lives, we know what is not working. We also know what the solutions are. What we often lack is the willpower to do what is needed to fix things. Igbo Boy's system has served our people well. We can preserve what still works, yank off what doesn't work, and upgrade what needs to be at a different level. I'm willing to team up with those thinking along that direction and bring my ideas of possible solutions home. Thank you.